Tamim Elbasha, I am at Audencia Business School in France in Nantes. We're based in Nantes, but we have other campuses in Paris and internationally. My job there is I'm an Associate Dean for Learning and Quality Development. We have different types of MBA. We have the first full-time MBA, which is a one-year program, dense in English. It's really to accelerate the career, to equip the students with the good skills they need to, geared towards international students, but we also have some local students. And then we have the Executive MBA, which we offer on campus, either in France or also in Algeria. So we have a program in Algeria, we're on there. Executive MBA, average minimum experience 10 years, and it's geared towards more experienced participants, of course. Average age is 34 years old. They come from all parts of the world. So last graduating cohort, I think there were 20 nationalities. The class size is about 35, give or take, and they all come in and they do that. They come from all different industries, as you could imagine, and that is very rich for the experience of the students. Yeah. We have all kind of profiles, so we have some would stay for some work experience, do an internship or do a little work experience and then will go back. Some of them will be recruited in the European Union, and some of them will go to another country, not their original country. So we have really different avenues. I think generally speaking, after 3 to 4 years, most of the students would have come back to another destination, and they don't stay just in France. So I think few things. Obviously soft skills nowadays is very important, so we focus on this, but also the program is designed around portfolio career. So in the course of the program, you can choose after the core courses, you can choose different focus on 2 or 3 areas. So for example, CSR and sustainability is one focus where you have 3 courses. Entrepreneurship, which you have 3 courses. So it's really very customized, and you can have, we really followed that portfolio career theory and said nowadays students will have to have the core knowledge, but also they would like to be specialized in 2 or 3 areas. And this is usually available on this. And obviously I think that is also common with a lot of business schools, but we have a lot of consultancy project with the company locally, and that helps also to the international students to understand how French business happens and the culture, in addition to kind of work culture and work ethic in France. Most of our staff have got industry expertise before. We have, I think 70–75% of faculty are international in this program. Very few local, and then we have the businesses coming in for the students. So when somebody teaches, usually we invite a business leader, local alumni sometimes, and they will share their experience with them. So yeah, we have them. We have few international faculty that will be coming in from outside, but today there's so much international faculty at Audencia or nearby that we can draw on their expertise and their work. So when you come in, you have your induction, and then you go into a core courses. That's in the first semester usually. We try to pay attention to workload, and we try to even it out in this period because it can be very intense. We're talking about 250 hours in 3 months. It's quite intense. As Ambas asked us to be 500 hours totally. And then in the next, the Christmas comes like a kind of break from the first session, and then you go into more integrative courses. So here you go into strategy, consultancy missions, you go there, and then you have the 2 blocks of electives, basically, which I mentioned earlier for your portfolio careers. You have 2 blocks first time, and then from January until February, March, and then you have the second one from March until May. There's also opportunities usually between March and May to go on study abroad with other universities, so you can go there and attend a course or 2. And come back, and that would be accounted for your credit as well. The core courses, it's finance, accounting, marketing, so on and so forth. The second part is very important because usually when we do them in blocks of 3 courses around the topics, or entrepreneurship for example, there are 3 courses or 3 blocks that builds on the other. Yeah, so that is very important that you choose that from the beginning and then you stick to these 3, and this is what we explained very quickly. Yeah, you can't just come and pick and choose, it will be a bit more complicated. There's one main consulting mission which happens between the 2 blocks of electives, and here we have companies coming in. The learners will be in a group of about 5 to 6 people, 6 students, and they will have a real problem that the company is facing, and they would like help from the students to solve that problem. So that's really the main project. And then we have some built in the courses. So 2 years ago I had in my strategy course, they were metaverse was a very important thing and was very new. So we had somebody who's an alumni from the Executive MBA coming in. They are in the driving industry, and we imagined for them what would be a business model and what would be a strategy if we want to go into the metaverse and that sort of thing. So that's much smaller, much more contained within a couple of weeks, within a few sessions, but that is also something we do oftentimes within the program. After all, the idea is to get the students to apply knowledge, to be exposed to different industry and different experiences and different problems that are facing businesses nowadays. I think the first skills you learn is to listen to your client or to the other people, and listening is very important to understand. So that's very important skills for managers. And when you listen to people that you don't speak to every day, it's not in your company, you learn really to distill the important things, the noise and the message, and you try to do that. So that's the first thing. Second thing is expressing what you understood and confirming with your client. That's another skill you can use in consulting, but also in everyday work. The structured way to approach a problem, statement of the problem, collecting data, so you have to be data-driven or evidence-driven, and that is something also you can use all the time in any kind of mission, really. And then building recommendation that's real, that's concrete, and that can be implemented, that's another thing. So I think these kind of skills you can apply. We call them consulting, but you can apply it every day in your management job, or if you're a business developer, or even if you're a marketer. So you have to have that sort of skills. And by exposing them to different industries, I think you start to also get a feeling of each problems in different industry and what's going on here and there. So that's also an opening up for them as a cultural and exploring of different places. Getting out of the comfort zone is the good expression here, where I'm used to this industry, I know what I'm doing, I'm an accountant or I'm a marketer, and then suddenly you're thrown in the other end, the deep end, and you don't know what's the problem in this industry, how profitability is done, how business models are done. So that's a precious thing. And I think also when you come as an international student, you also have that, full-time MBA, you have that kind of experience talking to people from different business cultures, and what does that mean, and would you do this or would you not do that. So that's another exposure as well. I think international exposure for the full-time MBA is very, yeah, I think it's very precious for them. They like it as well. The advantage of in Nantes is that it's a smaller city, it's very livable. It's one of the best cities to live in France for a few years. Very green, very commutable. So that is very easy. We're 2 hours from Paris, we're half an hour from the seaside. Brittany is just next door, and there's a huge amount of industry in just south in Vendée as well. So that's a good location to be in the full-time MBA, and we might be opening that up as well in Paris, maybe we'll see. But people choose Nantes because it's smaller and because it's more comfortable, and you got that close-knit relationship with your colleagues, but also with the city itself. You connect with people more on a more intimate level, I suppose.